All right, integrated 2. This is our YouTube video for January 15th. I've asked you guys to come to the link and watch this video. It is Friday. I just said that, January 15th. And so I am live in Zoom right now as you guys are watching the video. And then you're going to go ahead and finish up assignment 1 if you haven't done so. And there'll be a couple problems that we'll call assignment 2 related to what we're doing right here. So let's kind of get off to the same start. We're going to go ahead and call this part 2. And we're going to focus on pulling out the greatest common factor. And notice that the notes right here are still exactly the same as it was. Okay? So if you want to copy them down from before, go ahead and do it again. Tell you what, have this right there. Pause the video and go ahead and write it down, because I'm just going to go ahead and keep going with these problems. And remember, these are notes that you're going to go ahead and submit to me. You're going to submit to me part 1 if you haven't done so already. I need it. And then go ahead and make sure you get everything down for part 2 and submit that to me also. All right. So pause if you need to, but if not, I'm already going to go ahead and start with an example right away. And so here we go. Here's our first problem. So we're going to go ahead and factor, excuse me, let me get back on camera. We're going to go ahead and factor 3x squared minus 39x plus 90. We know that the problems that we just did a couple days ago is that we love it when we have a coefficient of 1. There's a game to be played, okay? Do not start making your diamond right now and doing factors of 90 and negative 39. There is a big difference here. We want that to be a 1 if we can. Now, next Wednesday, I'm going to show you what happens when there's no GCF and it's not a 1, and that is something I did not show you last semester. So that's the last piece I'm going to add on for you guys. All right. So it's kind of really easy to look here. Pretty much, because I'm not going to give you any crazy problems, is that the number that is there is probably going to be your GCF. Like I said, I don't anticipate giving you anything outrageous. So if that's not a 1, you can pretty much say, okay, well, there's probably a GCF. And it's a yes. And if we pull out the 3, it's like, remember, we're either dividing by 3 or it's how we get back. So if you kind of remember, we were looking at it this way. So if you take the 3 out, it would just be x squared. If you say, well, what if I took a 3 out here, or what would it take to get back to 39? It'd be negative 13, so you can just do negative 39 divided by 3. Watch your signs, do not lose the sign. And 90 divided by 3, it's positive, is positive 30. Okay, so that is 1. Do I have a GCF? Notice that there's still a 2 below there, which is our diamond. So now we are where we were back to 2 days ago. So there's really no difference here. If you know how to pull out the GCF, we're back to exactly the same spot that we were. And so we have our 3x squared minus 30x plus 90. We're going to go 2 factors of now 30, right? Because we divided by 3, so it's no longer 90. So it's 30 that give us a negative 13. And it's really important that you bring the 3 down for the final answer. As always, pause if you're a little bit behind, okay? And get caught up, and then unpause, and I'll continue on, of course. I'm on tape. So this is where we say, okay, well, we need to find some winners here. Factors of 30. Add them up. And remember, what we're going for is the negative 13. Remember, you don't have to make this long list if you can figure out what the answer is. When you say 30 to me, I say 6 and 5 right away. If I add 6 and 5, I get 11. No, that doesn't work. If I subtract 6 and 5, I get 1. So I know it's not 6 and 5. So let's not do this whole thing. If you need help on finding the factors, that's something you should ask me in the Zoom room. But let's just pretend that we were doing this, and everyone in here figured out that it was going to be negative 3 times negative 10. All right? So let's just pretend we had a big old long list right there. And we discovered that we actually have a winner. So it could be negative 3 and negative 10. And we can try it out. So we have negative 3 and negative 10. We try it out. We have a winner. The 3 needs to come down. And now we just do what we did 2 days ago and 2 months ago. We get x minus 3 and x minus 10. And that is my answer. Three times x minus 3 and x minus 10. So that's the only new thing I wanted to add as part of our review, is just saying, hey, look it, we want this to be a 1, we want skinny friend, and so we turn it into a 1, and then the 3 just comes down for the final answer, and everything's the same. This is your key right here. You do this, you figure out your numbers, all we're doing is just putting them into the final answers. So the factors are really important. And remember, some of you printed off that factor cheat sheet that you can use if you need to do the numbers. Sorry. Let's go ahead and just do one more. This is just a short little thing because I want you to have the entire rest of the period to make sure assignment 1 is good. I'm only giving you a few problems of these just for practice, and then we'll call it a week. Okay, we'll already be done with 2 weeks of school in the semester. I don't think it's that bad. And I just hope you're keeping up on all your other classes already. All right, here's number 2. So we're going to do 4x squared plus 20x minus 56. All right, well, you see it's a trinomial. It's to the second power. Maybe next week I'll fool around and say, what happens if it's to the third power? What would we do? Well, there's a simple fix to that. It's called the GCF. But let's just stay right here for a second. 4x squared plus 20x minus 56, you recognize and say, look, I want that to be a coefficient of 1. But my first question is, do I have a GCF? And guys, don't automatically say, you're going to see next week that it's not always an automatic yes. Remember, I got one more harder thing to show you. So you are looking to make sure that 4 kind of goes into both of those right there. And so if you're not sure, you can do 20 divided by 4 in the calculator. 56 divided by 4, you get your answers. But we realize that 4 is the GCF. So I'm going to go ahead and write a yes right there. So 4 is a GCF, it's a yes. And if we pull out the 4, if we divide by 4, we get x squared plus 5x minus 14. I think I kind of like those numbers. 14 doesn't have a lot. I think some of you are already going, hey, wait a minute, this has something to do with 7 and 2, right? Yeah, I imagine so. If it factors, I imagine that is. And so some of you are ready to write down the answer already. But don't stop here. Too many times people just start stopping here thinking that they're done. Remember, there are 2 questions, and we are going to make a diamond out of that. All right, so we're going to make our diamond. Look what I'm doing right here. Do this real quick. And the reason why I say do it real quick is because even I was about to forget. So let's go ahead and make sure that we get our final answer kind of ready to go right there. All right, so I got negative 14 and positive 5. So if you need help, you can go ahead and start with the number 1, but you know, I'm sure a lot of people already said, oh, hey, this is going to be 7 and negative 2. Look at that's 5, that's negative 14. That's how simple I hope you guys start making it. You know, like I said, I know some of you really struggle with the times tables, so don't be afraid to start that long. I'm not giving you a lot of problems to do. So don't cheat by looking at the answers, or don't use the app. I know I say that every time. So we got 7 and negative 2. Seven minus 2 is 5. 7 times negative 2 is negative 14. It's looking really good. X plus 7, x minus 2. All right, go ahead and, of course, get yourself caught up there. Okay, so where are we at the end of week 2? So on day 1, I just had you copy down some questions. Last Friday was also a short day, and so I just gave you a few problems to kind of work on. I just was multiplying binomials, doing FOIL, just to review, okay? And then, then we had a Wednesday, sorry about that, where we're doing the trinomials. And then we have today. So on Wednesday, I gave you about 45 minutes to start working those problems. We have about an hour left, so I really think that in this hour, you should be completely done with assignment 1 if you haven't done it already, and submit. You can just do the few problems I've given to you here, submit there, and if if you've done all the notes and everything, you have an A after 2 weeks. All right? Okay, so let's go ahead and end this video right now. Like I said, if you're still writing, you just pause, because of course this video is going to run out. And I'll see you guys in the Zoom room here as soon as you're done with your video. All right, thanks guys.